Primitive people brought the fire in caves tens of thousands of years ago. These were the first technologies. Our ancestors started heating up their places with fire and charbroiling meat. Many people could not reach even 20 years old and died from lung cancer. The air in caves were charged with unbearable smoke. What has changed since then? Humanity firmed up technologically and the number of fires considerably increased. Fireplaces are burning in engines of cars, diesel locomotives, motor ships and airplanes, in furnaces of thermal and atomic power stations, in boiler rooms and plants. A bunch of harmful and poisonous substances became considerably richer in comparison with primitive fire. Due to surface and air transport, where breathing air, drinking water and eating food contains a bit less than half elements from periodic table. Nitric oxide, carbons and sulfurs, aldehydes, benzopyrene and soot, mercury, arsenic, lead and chlorine, polynuclear hydrocarbon and radioactive isotopes. The list of those scary names can go on forever. Go into the park to breathe fresh air, we have exactly this air cocktail. Because of increasing number of vehicles, the concentration of harmful substances become lethal. It's unreasonable to forget about aviation. Every launch of heavyweight missile and every flight of multi-engine aircraft makes a hole in ozone layer. The size of that hole is comparable with an area of a European country. Till the end of the century, over 150 million people will have been killed during accidents and disasters. Over 1.5 billion people will have become invalids and cripples because of the transport. How to avoid those monstrous victims? How to save and keep our planet green but not ash gray? Ride a horse, walking. Hey Marty McFly, could you lend 7 billion hoverboards from your past future to us, people living on this planet now? Indeed, effective transport had already been developed by scientist Anatoly Yunitsky. This genius engineer has created in every way ideal transport called Rail Skyway. It have already been invested over 30 years and several millions of dollars to make the project of Yunitsky come true. What is the transport of future? Imagine lightweight train or sport car with steel wheels placed on elevated laced rails. There, in rails, are stretched strings with strengthening of 100 tons. Due to ideal way of slickness and super aerodynamics of rolling stock, it is able to develop a speed of 500 km per hour. The trip will cost 7 times as cheap as if you catch an ordinary train. The safety will be 2,000 times as high as vehicle safety. It will take 10 times less electric power or fuel. And that's not the half of it. String rails are fixed on lightweight but exclusively firm bases. That fact helps to save from destruction the layer of rich soil, which area occupied with high-end railways is 4 times as more as area of Great Britain. This soil will stay alive and it will breathe, and green plants are growing. They will produce oxygen sufficient for breathing of billions of people. It is necessary to have means comparable to what had already been expended to introduce this type of transport all over the world. The same price have approximately 2-3 football players or 1-2 painting made by not the most famous impressionist painter. It is possible to realize just due to crowdfunding. In the first place, exactly we need this transport, and only we can make this project come true. Become a co-investor of future public transport. Invest in the future of your planet. Find out more at www.rsw-systems.com.